Thank you again, Mark. I don't say things that I don't mean. That's what I always try to do. And so when I say that your presentations were some of the best I've ever heard, you can take it to the bank, because that really is true. And I think we should have one more time. Because now you guys can all go home and say, I learned so much at that first quarter board meeting that we need to bring more people to these meetings. And we'll promise to have speakers like Mark and like Edie at all our board meetings. And we always want to have value added or tidbits and stuff, because that's one of the things that we wanted to do, whether it's professional development things or whatever. And we always want to send you home with some information, valuable information that you probably couldn't get anyplace else. And so I'd just like to give you a little bit of information now. You won't get anyplace else. I want you to know that, how many of you have pets? How about the dog people? Cat people? Dogs still win. But have you ever considered another pet? Let me throw something out at you. The best pet you can have is a pig. You ever heard that? Really? This is for your further education. Pigs are smarter. They're noted for their intelligence. And this is all true.
No.
Who said no?
I am a farmer's daughter. These are the stupidest animals on earth. And don't argue with
Joanne, you're out of order. Okay. Yeah. Canadian pigs may be dumb, but they're pretty smart down here. It's been proven that pigs are smarter than dogs, and they're smarter than a 3-year-old child. They can be trained to do tricks. Joanne, are you?
Use the other mic that's on your desk right there.
Yeah, use the other mic.
Well, they can talk to do tricks, and they can talk.
Battery's going out. Battery went
Talk too much.
out.
Pigs can be trained to do tricks, and they can be taught to use a litter box. And they continually communicate with other pigs through more than 20 different methods, from oinks to grunts to squeals, all of which have very specific meanings. Everything from mating calls to expressing hunger. So take that to the bank. Pigs are smarter than dogs and cats and everything else. So go buy a pig. Right?
Yeah.
That is your added value learning for the meeting.
Hey Dave,
What?
did you mention that when a pig dies, you have a meal?
Good point. Okay, next on the agenda is, I've got on my agenda, it says the Dave and Sally Show, but it's the Strategic Planning Report and Focus for 1819. And where did Sally say?
1918?
Whatever years we're going into.
1918.
We talked a little bit about this yesterday, and I'm not going to go into a review of everything we did last year. I think everybody's pretty much familiar that we've made some great progress on this. But I think the things you want to know now is where we're headed next year. So I'm going to let Sally lay out her program.
Well, it's not my program, it's our program. And there's a couple things. I got 15 minutes, so I'm really not a dictator, but we got 15 minutes to get through what a whole year is about. So we're going to do a couple things. First of all, if after I'm done visiting with you and you want what I said in paper, you come up here and I'll give it to you. I'm going to concentrate in the last There were 9 focuses. I'm turning it down to 4, and I'm reusing some words. Instead of just new clubs, instead of just saying new clubs, I'm going to use some different words, and that's what I'm going to explain for you today. One of the things that I believe in is the way we grow is recruiting. New clubs is important, recruiting new members, but mentoring them afterwards and retaining them. We've talked about this for I don't know how many years, that we're really good about recruiting, but we're not real great about retaining. And if you recruit, mentor, and retain, it equals growth. And that's what I want to kind of concentrate on. The other thing is, we've talked a lot about getting training videos on the website and on YouTube. And so the technology, the leadership, and my RMRG, recruiting, mentoring, and retaining equals growth committee will make that happen. The leadership development did a wonderful job last year of putting the leadership guide together, the manual. It is on the DMM website. It is called the Leadership Development Guide. It's found on the website. It'll teach the club leaders and their members of why it should be try to achieve an honor club. And also, I want to take that and we're going to develop a 90-minute training session and for the annual meeting that's coming up in Grand Forks. And instead of having it 4 hours long, I want it shrunk down to 90 minutes. 60 minutes is probably lecture or walking you through it, and then 30 minutes in question and answers. But here's kind of the caveat. We have done really well at siloing everything in our society. We silo young people and old people and junior high and elders and anything that we can think of, especially in the United States, we silo. And we've siloed our positions in the DMM where there's presidents and vice presidents and secretaries and treasurers and lieutenant governor, and then say, okay, go forth and work together. And it's silent, isn't it? So this 90 minutes, and I encourage your clubs and those that aren't here, that are your neighbors, to reach out to those and say, bring your leadership. What I want this 90-minute session to be is the lieutenant governor for your zone, your presidents and vice presidents, secretary, treasurer, grouped together in a room, and you start building that relationship. And you fill out those forms, and you start saying, what's your goals? But the biggest thing is you kick off that year with a relationship starting to be built. And then you can communicate on all the ways we have to communicate with email and text and Twitter, and you have to have that face-to-face as far as I'm concerned. So that's the biggest thing on that. Public relations and marketing. We've talked about how we get our name out in the public. Well, I know newspapers are not probably the only way to do it, but I think there is a place for newspapers. And this is just one thing. So I started searching South Dakota Association of Newspapers. South Dakota has an association. It's right here in Brookings. You go up here, you click on directory, and it will give you every newspaper, daily, weekly, the email, and who to send your stuff to. I thought if South Dakota has it, North Dakota must. And if North Dakota has it, Minnesota must. If the U.S. has it, Canada must. So every one of our Manitoba, Minnesota, and the Dakotas all have an association. You click on directory, and so one of the things that public relations and marketing will be working on is to go through the list, cut and paste, put it on an Excel, and Tim and Kevin will put it on the DMM, and you'll leave here, not this probably meeting, but you will be able to take your pictures and do whatever you need to do in your own clubs or in your zone or in the district, and you can send back to your area. Don't forget those weekly newspapers. That's the way you communicate, because you don't just have to have members from Brookings, you know, Flandreau, Volta, you know, just think of your area and put those in those papers, and you'd be surprised how you can get your word out. And technology, it's in good hands. The thing about it is I want technology, Tim and Kevin, to work with the committees. So when leadership writes the script for the individual training, because I talked about being in a group at the annual convention for 90 minutes. But I want the leadership and technology to work together to write a script for the president. So you're home, you're in your boxers, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you're up having a beer, and you want to watch the 15-minute video on how to be a president. You can.
Yep.
You know, you're up with your child, you're nursing, you might as well have your other hand busy, I guess. And I've never had kids, so I don't know if you have 2 hands or not. I have, however, had a pet pig named George. Actually, pigs are smarter than dogs, so they poop in the same place. You only have a corner to clean out if you're in a clean corner. New club development. I want you to think about a couple things. And I have no idea. I might shoot me with bullets and lightning. We've had 2, I think, wonderful opportunities, Harmony, and I hope you all guys enjoyed building a bed for the kids. But I can't get this thought out of my mind. And so I'm going to just, 10 seconds here. This club within a club, or build a new club, or 30 under 30, or how many ever programs they have out there. How would it be? How would it work? And since I'm just more familiar with Build a Bed and what you've heard with Harmony, what would happen if our club decided, any club, decided, I think our community needs a sleep in heavenly peace. So we're going to go find 15 new people that want to do a project like that and say, a new club under our Optimist. And I don't know how that'll work legally, and I'm sure there's lawyers and all that. But Harmony, the same way.
Mm-hmm.
What a way to introduce new members to our organization. One of the things I keep harping on is, when you say Lions, you think of glasses. When you think of Toastmasters, you think of speaking. When you think of Rotary, it's international travel. When you think of Optimists, kids. We are all Optimist members. If you're not an Optimist member, what do they think about?
Glasses.
They think about glasses.
It should be about optimism.
Or optimism.
Right.
What's that? But there is no real focus like glasses and lions, in my opinion. So I just keep thinking about Optimists, the ones that build beds, the Optimists that bring harmony, because they're just 2 good programs. Just think about that. Now, the next thing, so I have handouts up here. You probably noticed the yellow sheets, and, I didn't go through 40 years without, well, I did go through 35 without 3M paste on the back of yellow sheets. In order to build a team, I think I have about 5 minutes left.
You're fine.
I want you to take markers or your pens. That wall is really hard on pens, so markers. And just walk around. And there's leadership. There's what I talked about with recruitment, mentoring, the scholarship opportunities, childhood cancer, harmony, PR, and just write your name so I can read it. And I'll talk to you, but I want to know what your passion is. Because we can strategize all day long, but if I don't know what your passion is, I can't lead you. So how about if someone really brave takes a marker and starts that, and we will end on time. So if you want to put your name up there, it's not like committing, it's not a memorandum of understanding. I just want to know what you're interested in. Are you interested in leadership? Are you interested in PR? Are you interested in researching how maybe a club within a club with harmony or building a bed would work? And the ones that don't want to do that, I won't force you. But did you sign the booklet for Lori, whose husband is sick, and Snuffy, who has had some health problems? And just write them a little note of encouragement, and I will put them in the mail and send them. So,
Thank you.
You got questions? Does anybody got questions? Okay.
Thank you, Sally.
Sally, do you still have George? I still have George.
Excuse me.
Mr. Ted.
Hang on. Yeah.
The question was, do I still have George, my pig? No, I don't have George anymore. That was when I was a teenager. And I had Gracie, and then 21 bum lambs, and I had George.
Kids' lives. What we really want to do now is I'm asking you to please go back and grow your clubs. Every club, we want at the end of the year to please try to have +1 membership. That should not be very difficult to do. And then once you get that +1, go for +2 and +3 so you can become an honor club. We'd love to have half of this become honor clubs during the year. We've got a great opportunity to grow our clubs by one of the newest recruitment tools that Optimist International has given us during this centennial year, and that's to go back and look at your deleted member list, go back and look at all former Optimists and invite them to come back and join for 1 year for $30. That is a super recruitment effort. And again, I say, you know, we always consider like the first quarter of the year our rosters and make sure that, you know, we collect the dues, club dues, and if members say, I'm not going to belong anymore, please, before you delete them, go and talk to them. Find out why you want to drop. You know, you've been a member for 5, 10, 20 years. Why do you want to drop? And get that, establish a dialogue. If they're unhappy with things, find out why. And maybe you can turn them around. If you can't turn them around, check that Friend of Optimist option, because that's a great way to, you know, if they believe in the philosophy of optimism, then that's one way they can support us. I would encourage you to please add at least 1 new project this year. We're adding new members so we can serve more kids, and it should be easy to add another project. For those of you who are considering building a new club, think about that approach. Sally mentioned it too, you know. Get 15 people who are really involved in one type of a project or a passion of theirs, and make them a club within a club. Dennis has done that down at the University in Vermillion, at the University of South Dakota, with a fraternity. Carmen is working with Lake Area Tech in Watertown because they do a fantastic winter carnival and they need a lot of tech support helping them maintain all those displays. Lake Area Tech has got the kids, people to do that, and so she needs their labor. So they'll have a club within a month or so. The other thing that I really want to encourage clubs to do this year, and because it's a centennial year, as I mentioned before, we've got a terrific opportunity to really think bigger, think bolder, and I'd like to have you consider thinking about establishing a legacy project, something that 10, 15 years from now, people will look at something and say, hey, that's a project that the Optimist Club started. And there again, use your imagination, find out what's needed in the community. Is there a rundown park with a lot of outdated playground equipment? Maybe you can refurbish that. That would be a legacy project. Put up a sign that says this was done by the whatever Optimist Club. You don't have to spend a lot of money on a legacy project. If your town has a vacant lot, it's been overgrown, get a community group together, get your club together, and go out there and cut the weeds down, plant grass, plant flowers, make a little flower garden, paint murals on the side of a wall, and make that an Optimist Park. And you'd be surprised how much pride a community, that will generate within that community. And it'll give our name out there. So, and there's just tons of things that you can think of. Think outside. I always say I don't think outside the box. I destroyed that box long ago. I'm game for anything. So think about that and come up with a legacy project that you can really sink your teeth into. As I mentioned before, this is our opportunity to really make a difference. And my theme this year is together we make a difference. And it takes all of us. We've got every new member we bring into our clubs. The power of one, think about that. How many members have you brought into your club? That one member has had a terrific idea. I can stand here and talk for an hour about people that I've seen. One person can come into a club and they've got an idea and it's just mushroom. So it only takes one. And we need those new members for their ideas, their energy, their enthusiasm. They energize us. So I just want everybody to look at this Optimist 100th year and make it the best year you've ever had. And then remember one thing, you've got questions, you've got concerns, problems, challenges. Your lieutenant governors and me are only a phone call away. Call us anytime. I never seem to get to bed before midnight, so that's a good time to call me. Kevin and I have got lots of chats after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So that's what my challenge is to all of you, to all of us. Just have the best year we can. And I think right now, what we need is just another little inspirational message. And I'd like to call on our Vice President, Edie Harris, and she's got a lot of ideas, a lot of energy, and take it away, Edie.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
So, a little while ago, somebody asked me if this was my job. This is what I did for a living. Well, I wish I got paid for this, but no, I don't. And it's not my job. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my life. 16 years ago, I read a little newsletter. So I live in a small town, and we don't have a newspaper. We're too small for a newspaper. We get a newsletter in with our utility bill each month. So I look at this utility bill, and it on the back of it had the newsletter and told a little bit about what was going on in town. And I seen this thing that said, "Would you like to help kids in our community? Would you like to help kids in Blackball?" Something like that. And I saw it and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I should give that number a call. And then the next month, the newsletter came along, the utility bill, and I saw it again. Would you like to help kids in your community? Oh, I should give them a call. I I was a single mom raising 2 little kids, and I other than work, I didn't do anything else but hang with my kids, and I kind of wanted some kind of life outside of home and work. So, third time, 3 months, the newsletter came along in the utility bill, and I called the number. And this guy from Red Deer Optimist Club said, oh, we're coming out to Black Falls, and we're going to show you guys what the Optimist Club is all about, and there's going to be a big screen and a video, and he's telling me all about this. And I said, oh, okay. I wasn't real sure, but I thought, okay, I'll go. So I go to the community hall the night of the meeting, and I walk in, and there's like all these people from the Red Deer Optimist Club, and there was 4 of us guests. So I sat down and I listened to what was going on, and I thought at the end of it I was really excited. I thought, well, I think I want to do this. Greg?
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, we'll just wait till you're finished.
I was distracting him, sorry.
So, sorry, Greg. So, went to the meeting, and I everything I heard, I thought, oh man, our little town needs this. At the time, we were a small town, like a couple thousand people. And if your kid didn't play hockey, there was nothing else in town for our kids to do. My twins were 5 years old, and I thought, what's going to happen when they turn 13? There's nothing in town for them to do. And we all know what happens when kids have nothing to do. Most likely, they're going to get themselves into some kind of trouble. So I was really intrigued what these guys had to say. The next day at kindergarten, I was just hyped right up about it. Next day, I took my kids to kindergarten, and I stood in the boot room, and everybody that went by said, hey, I did this meeting last night. And I didn't know these parents. And, you know, a few of them just from passing each other in the hallway or whatever at school. So I just told them all about it. We gotta go see this. You gotta come to this next meeting. This is gonna be amazing for our town. This is a game changer. And they listened to me, and finally the meeting was the next Tuesday or whatever. So a few of them had said, yeah, I'll come. So sure enough, Tuesday after school, I'm in the boot room. You remember, we got that meeting tonight, 7 o'clock, da-da-da-da. So about 4 of them showed up, and the 4 that were there the first time, so there was myself and one other guy that showed up from the first time. Then there was my 4 friends, and this other guy, he brought a couple friends. Well, most of them liked what they heard. So I went back to a 3rd meeting, and Guy Gibson, he's the guy that helped charter our club from Red Deer, he has asked us all, he said, okay, if you guys all bring 1 or 2 people to the next meeting, we're going to have 25 people to charter this club, because at that time we needed 25, not 15. Sure enough, the 3rd meeting we get there, and we're just about at 25. We're sure we're going to do this. So they call up Gary Cross. He's a guy in our, he's a past governor in my district, and he drove 8 hours out to where we lived, and we set a date for the next meeting. And we were so nervous, you guys, because we thought, oh my God, this guy is like governor of Saskatchewan is coming here. What if we don't have enough people? And we were like freaked right out that this guy was going to drive all the way and charter our club, which we really didn't know what charter our club meant. We didn't know anything. So sure enough, he comes out, and we were all so nervous. Guess how many people showed up for that meeting? 38 people. 38 people showed up for our meeting, and it was awesome. So there I am sitting in this little community hall in our town, and they're telling us about different things and passing papers around, and we've all filled out our forms, and comes to the point where Gary says, okay, so who's going to be the charter president? Well, everybody in the room looked at me. I was like, oh, no, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to have a meeting. I don't approve minutes. Like, I had never been to anything like this. I am a small town farm girl that, thank you. Small town farm girl that had no idea, nothing. A budget? Right over my head. So I said, no, you guys, I can't do this. Well, they convinced me, Gary Cross and Guy Gibson, these Red Deer members, they convinced me, oh, you can do this, we'll help you, we stay with you, we mentor you. And well, by about midnight that night, I got home with 4 boxes of stuff and kits, and and the next day I was like, oh my God, what did I do? It was a game changer for me. It changed my life completely. I went from being this meek little shy, quiet, if you can believe that. No confidence, just come out of a terrible divorce, no confidence at all. And Optimus completely changed my life. I would never have stood up and talked like this in front of people ever before. No way. So then the Red Deer Club says, okay, well, let's go. We're going to do something. We want to figure out what we're going to do. What do you guys want in town? What are you missing? And we said, well, we got a lot of kids that want a skateboard park. So, I mean, if you're going to go big, go real big, right? Yeah. So he says, well, come back to the next meeting. You guys find out what you want, get a little bit of a budget together, and let's start working on it. So the guys went and found this company that just made smaller skate parks with like the steel ramps or whatever it was, and we decided, okay, we need to raise $30,000. And I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna get $30,000. This is gonna take us years. Like, set up this thing. We built a playhouse. We needed to do something that wasn't gonna cost us any money because we didn't have any money yet. So we got the town hardware store. They donated a building set of a little playhouse. It was kind of more like a shed, but they donated that. Somebody donated the paint, and we all got together in this guy's backyard, and we built a playhouse. The guys hammered and whatever, and us girls served beverages and hot dogs, and then the girls got to paint it on the inside. The guys sided it. It was the cutest thing, and it was done quick. Then we got it onto a flatbed of a truck trailer, and the parade was the next weekend. We took it through the parade. Well, what do you know? We sold a boatload of tickets. So we're making money already. Have our draw. We got like halfway there. We were just shocked. But we got the people busy. We had fun, and we just kept accumulating members. Because the 38 people that were there were bringing people in, and yeah, some dropped, some decided it wasn't their cup of tea, but our club just went nuts. It was amazing. So throughout the years, I became charter president, and then because it was partway through a year, I was president the next year as well, and I was distinguished president. Then I went on, and a few years later, they asked me to be lieutenant governor. Again, I said, I'm not smart enough to do that. I don't know what to do. Well, Dennis, lieutenant governor? Lieutenant governor was my favorite job. Anybody ever asked me, will you be lieutenant governor again? Absolutely. Loved it. Then I became outstanding distinguished governor in 2015-16, and we ended the year, our district at net plus 287. Yeah, it was a crazy year. We had an awesome year. Everybody says, oh my God, how did you do that? We had fun. We had so much fun that people wanted to come and help us. They wanted to be a part of this. And plus, I had the best team ever. I had such an awesome team. It was amazing. Talking about fun, what I had fun here doing, build a bed, that was awesome. See, that was getting out, doing something. I loved going to build a bed. The tailgate party, that was fun, but I did learn that I don't think I like bratwurst. Sorry, it was my first time, and I'm not positive I liked it, but I tried it. One of the other districts, I got to go on a moonlight walk along a lake. Another place I was at, I got to go to their state fair, or not state, I don't know, town fair, little town fair. Got to see their Optimus cow plot bingo, which was hilarious. Ask me about it later if you want a great idea for your club.
Yep. They have a big acreage.
So now I have the honor of being the Great Plains Vice President in the centennial year. So I have a very large group. So I am from Alberta, Montana, Saskatchewan, Northern Wyoming. That's my district. We call it the Alphabet District. And DMM, what I really like about DMM is you guys are cross-border just like we are. I think there's only a couple cross-border clubs or districts, you and us.
Northwest.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
So, what was I just saying? Oh yeah, so then Vice President, I got a call from the committee, Candidate Qualifications Committee, and it was Danny Rogers, Ron Huxley, Chris Jernigan, and they phoned me, and I'm at work one day, and they said, oh, hey, we just want to phone, we want to see if you want to be Vice President of the Great Plains region. And I said, what? No way, are you guys kidding? I can't do that. I don't know anything about that. I've never even been. There was not one single place out of all the region, or all the districts I had, the only place I'd ever been was in my own district. I'd never been here. Last weekend I was in Wisconsin, never been there. Nebraska a few weeks before that, never been there. Going to Iowa in 2 weeks. Like, I just, oh, wow, this is, out of everything that I've done now, Lieutenant Governor's still my favorite, but the traveling that I'm getting to do as Vice President, oh, it's just been amazing. So I'm hoping that we have a very successful year and that we all become outstanding distinguished governors, members, Vice President. And I think you guys are off to such a great start that I have complete faith in you guys. Now, I told you a little bit about myself, but there was a few things in that little story that I'm hoping that you guys picked up on. So how many times did I have to read that newsletter before I picked up the phone? What's that tell you?
Keep at it.
Keep at it. Advertising once, great. Advertise twice, great. You've got to keep it going, and it was the exact same thing every time. It never changed, and it caught my eye. And with you guys advertising in your community, might happen there. Somebody might see it once, twice, the third time they might call you. So don't give up on the advertising. Put your new members to work right away. So when our mentor came back and said, you know, the week after we chartered, okay, what are we gonna do? I thought, oh man, they're hitting us right away. It was great. Our members pitched in, the Playhouse was fun. We had such a blast doing that. So in your clubs, you guys, you bring in these new members. We want new members so bad. Don't let them just sit there until you have, you know, maybe your next event isn't for 4 months. Give them something to do. Find anything for them to do. And in my club, when we have the induction of the new members, as soon as the president shakes their hand, hands them their package, he says to them, what is the first job for you as a new member is to go out and bring in a new member. That's the very first job we give them. And you know what? Most of them do it because they don't know any different. They don't know. They think that that's really what they're supposed to do. And our club just spiraled up, like a little tiny town and 80 members. So it's crazy. Try it, you guys, though. You bring in a new member, shake their hand. Okay, here's your first job. But then get them busy after that. Don't make them feel like you really need them. Don't leave them stagnant. And the third thing that you should take from that is anybody can be an Optimist member. Don't prejudge. Do not prejudge. If they would have prejudged me when they first met me, I wouldn't have been in that club. Don't prejudge. Don't think, oh, well, my friend Ayla at work, she probably won't show up for half the meetings, and she's going to think it's dumb when we have to raise our hand and do pledge and stuff. And now, don't do that, you guys. Some of the members that I've brought in, and I got my 50 pin a couple of years ago, so I don't even know what I'm at now, but a couple of people that I brought in that I thought were going to be amazing members did nothing and dropped out. There's people that I thought would be stagnant, not really do a whole lot, would be really uncomfortable with everything, jump up and be on committees and have a blast. So don't prejudge people. Ask anybody. Just ask. So now what? Now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the awards coming up. This is just and I'm just touching on it because there is a lot of awards this year, but I'm just touching on it. So everybody in this room that is a member of an Optimist Club, please stand up.
I'm number 2.
Okay, and if you're a member of 2, stand up. Okay, so keep standing. Keep standing. So as an individual member, there is a Centennial Promise Yourself logo pin. And if you can see, it's right there on me. The governors and the vice presidents all got one at our training, but it was with the knowledge that we have to bring in a member. So you can earn this by sponsoring a new member, participating in a club project, which we all do,
Good projects here.
Projects, yeah.
I've already got hassle. Submit an Optimist story. And I want to tell you guys, this Optimist story don't stress about this. This can be a quick, you videoing videoing yourself and sending it into OI. It can be a quick jot down. They don't want big, long stories. They're going to take tidbits of all this and use it in a video each month that's going to come out to optimists. So don't stress about it, just do it. Now, this one member pin, if you don't really care about it and whatever and don't think you're going to be able to do it, sit down. Awesome, Dave. Okay, now you can sit down. Okay, now that you're all seated, can I have club presidents stand up? Oh, love it. Look at you. There's lots of you. Club presidents. So you can earn a Centennial Promise Yourself logo letter opener. And it's a really nice, I got pictures. You can see it after, or it's all on the net. So you personally have to earn the individual club member, plus 20% of your club members need to earn that individual member award. So that's not hard, 20%, I mean, I don't know how big a clubs you guys have out here, but 12 members? 13, so how easy is that gonna be for you guys? So, Mr. President, piece of cake. So that's all you have to do, is you have to meet, so presidents have to meet that individual member themselves, and 20% of their club members meet that. And you guys are gonna encourage them to do that. Okay, you can sit down. Okay, would any lieutenant governors in the room please stand up? Sorry, Dennis. Okay, lieutenant governors, you have the ability to attain this. It's a Centennial Promise Yourself logo desk paperweight. It's a crystal pyramid and it's absolutely beautiful. What you need to do is personally earn the individual award, which I have no doubt that you guys will do. Then 20% of your club presidents must earn the President's Award. 20% is not a lot. How many club presidents in your district or zone? 5. So, piece of cake. Yes. And Lieutenant Governors, I expect you guys to encourage, and you're going to be working along with your presidents anyhow, right? Mm-hmm. How many of you guys want this crystal paperweight? Yes, yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, you can sit down. That's like I said, I'm not going to touch a whole lot on awards, but there's pages about it on the internet, and I'm sure Tim's probably got that on your guys' website by now, or very soon.
Close.
I got the deer in the headlights look.
What?
In the next 5 minutes.
In the next 5 minutes, yeah. Now, there's a couple incentives, you guys, that are going to help you reach and attain these awards. The teacher incentive, I think we all know the teacher incentive. So, and it's not just the teachers in the school. It can be the teacher assistant, it can be the custodian, it can be the school secretary, anybody in the school, the coach of the basketball team, pretty much anybody. You bring them in $30 a year for dues for their first year. That includes the $30 sign-up fee at OI. So, awesome opportunity there. Then the homecoming, and Dave's a perfect example of this. The homecoming is bringing back a past member. So I'm sure you guys all know members that, you know, maybe they didn't like President Susie and her meetings were boring and they quit a long time ago, or maybe they just quit last year. I don't know. Talk to them, invite them to come back. Again, $30, 30 per year for dues.
Edie, I have a quick question on that. Can they come back to a different club than the one they belonged to before?
Absolutely, absolutely. The only stipulation that's in it is they can't quit this year and bring them back this year. So they have to quit before October 1st. Yes?
I have a question.
Okay.
Do you think that there'll be any awards for representatives like me?
Well, yes, for sure. You can attain the individual member award and get one of these pins. All you got to do is bring in a new member, and somebody can help you video yourself telling a story. Absolutely. And I have no doubt that you already help in club projects, right, Cole?
That's because I'm also taking notes for the first time of meetings. Notes for the meetings that we attend to.
Good. Awesome. I'm gonna be watching you. I can see on the internet what you guys are up to, and I'll.
You better keep an eye on me.
Oh, I love it.
That's your boy, Chuck.
So my DMM friends, I've loved being here. I loved reconnecting with old friends. There's a few people in this district that I've met throughout the years, and it was awesome to reconnect with them. I've loved making all you new friends. You guys have made me feel very welcome here. I've had a ton of fun. I liked learning new ideas. I want to ask that lady, like, is this in Canada? Can we do this in Canada? Did she say it?
I talked to them.
Oh, she's right there.
Yes.
This is
I just worked in this perfect.
I love that you guys have programs set up in the room. I was telling my partner there, Curtis? Yeah. I was telling him earlier when we were partnered up that you guys remind me a lot of my home district. You got your flags up, it's very professional, all the banners are up. It looks like an awesome Optimist meeting room. I love it. I've been to a couple districts where they have like just 2 flags and no banners and stuff like that. So this makes me so happy. I also love the decorations, the happy birthday. It was funny because I was sitting at breakfast this morning and I said, oh, whose birthday is it today? Carmen, where's Carmen? Carmen's like, it's the Optimist 100 birthday. It's like, you haven't heard about that? Okay, yeah, you got me there. I felt so dumb. Getting to come to South Dakota. I've never been here before. This was great. So last but not least, where's my final notes here? Okay, so I want you guys to work together as a team. You guys already look like you're just such a well-meshed district. I love it. Work together as a team and let's make DMM District a Centennial Distinguished District. This will be the only time that your district will be a Centennial Distinguished District. I mean, it might happen in another 100 years, but we won't see that. Sorry, I'm just lost on my notes.
Canadian years.
The Optimist Foundation benefit from that new chocolate candy sales now in Canada?
Don't go there, Diddy.
Oh, that.
Don't go there.
We won't talk about that. So you guys, as we move along into our centennial year, you need to remember, you are going to be a legacy. Club presidents, you will be the only centennial club president. Lieutenant governors, you will be the only centennial lieutenant governor. DST Greg, where'd you go? You will be the only centennial district secretary treasurer. Governor Dave, you will be the only centennial outstanding distinguished governor. And policy lady, Joanne, you will be the only centennial policy lady. So I just want to thank you again for having me and enjoyed my time here. I'm going to watch on the tee shots and on the Optimist Leaders Online at how you guys are doing. And I just wish you a fabulous year. Thank you.